Reading a scientific paper is different from reading other types of material. It is one of the most difficult reading challenges. It is difficult to do in your own native language, so it is especially difficult to do in another language. Today, this workshop is going to focus on tools and strategies you can use to help you read a scientific paper successfully. So reading a scientific paper is a very challenging task. We're going to try and look at some of the common problems people have and what some solutions for those problems are. First, some of the common problems. The first most common problem is that people use the grammar translation method when trying to read a scientific paper. The grammar translation method is a very old method for learning a language. It's probably the method you used when you were in high school or middle school. Many teachers use this for beginner learners. Another common problem people have is a myopic focus on specific word meanings, where they just look at one word and ignore the other ones in trying to understand the meaning. Words need to be understood in context. The problem with the grammar translation method is that it requires looking up every single word in the dictionary. You must know the meaning of every word before you translate a sentence accurately. It is very time-consuming and tiring. In fact, most people today do not even attempt this anymore. They simply try to use translation software. Translation software may be a solution for some situations, but it is not a perfect solution. Another problem is a myopic focus on a single word. The problem with myopically focusing on a single word is that it is painful because you're frustrated that you don't understand a word. It is slow because every time you see a new word, you must look it up in the dictionary. And there's a question of accuracy. Some words have multiple dictionary definitions. Which one is the correct one? Main solutions to these problems are selectively reading, skim reading, and searching for details, in that order. First, let's look at selectively reading. When you selectively read a research article, you focus on specific sections first. First, you read the title. The title should be read carefully and accurately. When reading the title, you may look up words you do not understand. Next, we read the abstract. The abstract is a compressed version of an entire paper. A good abstract will have enough information to get a basic idea of what the paper is about and what the researcher's conclusions might be. The abstract can be very difficult to read because it usually has complex grammar and difficult vocabulary. But the abstract gives us an overview of the entire paper. Therefore, I generally try to read the abstract next. Next, I read headings of the paper. This is the beginning of skim reading. First, I just look at each section of the paper. What do the headings tell me about the content of the paper? Finally, I will read the summary. The summary will help me understand the abstract better. It gives me an idea of the researcher's conclusions. It helps to understand the impacts of the research on the field. Next, I will skim read the paper. In skim reading, I first read through the introduction. I read through the entire introduction quickly without looking up words in a dictionary, unless that word is repeated often and seems very important. Next, I read through the methods section. In this section, we find out who the researcher collected data on or how they collected research for their paper. Finally, I will read through the results and findings. These 3 sections of the paper are the main body of the paper. When skim reading, do not use the grammar translation method. Do not look up things in a dictionary, and do not cheat by using software. Finally, I will search for details. When searching for details, it is okay to use a dictionary, the internet, software, any tools you have at your disposal to try to understand the complex details of a paper that you may not have understood. When searching for details, you should start by asking specific questions and then looking for the answers to those questions. When searching for details, you must use your deductive reasoning skills. You are similar to a detective, trying to understand some detail based on other information you already understand. In conclusion, work smarter. We need to be able to read a scientific paper without burning out. These methods will help you achieve better success with reading. They support a more efficient use of brain power, and they are less time-consuming. Thank you for listening, and I wish the best for you in your scientific reading endeavors.